Hi there, my name is John Monroe. I live in Birmingham, UK, and I'm going to ride my bike to work this morning. I saw some discussion online about encouraging people to ride to work, and I thought I would just film my own ride as maybe one example to show what's possible, also some of the problems, and just give people who might be thinking about it more of a sense of what it's like. So, word about me. Again, my name is John. I'm not an athletic cyclist, I guess. Like, I don't go to the gym. I'm just kind of a person who has a bike. I'm 50 years old. I'm not particularly athletic. Again, I use a bicycle to get around or walk. My bike is right here. It's called a Quella. To be honest, I don't know too much about bikes. I got this bike a couple years ago when I moved to Birmingham from Canada, and I just like the simplicity. It has only, as you'll see, one gear. And I just like the get on and pedal. It doesn't go too fast, and it just makes for a simple and easy ride. So let me get out there and I will ride. I live in the kind of the border of Edgbaston and Ladywood, those two neighborhoods for people who know Birmingham. And I'm going to ride to the University of Birmingham where I work as a teacher. I teach history there. So let me get out in the front of the building here and get on the road and ride. Okay, so I'm off. Here I am on Monument Road. The first trick, good morning, a neighbor. The first trick is to get across the road. And it looks like I'm okay. Hi. Great, sometimes that takes a few minutes. Okay, so here we go, Monument Road. So it's a little bit wet today, and so I have these rain pants. I bought them, oh my goodness, 10 years ago or something, for, I don't know, 10 pounds maybe. So that's the equipment that I have, and then I just take them off when I get to work and I'm ready to go. So yeah, so a few potholes, that's always a bit of an issue. And here on Monument Road, it's not so bad at this time because there's enough traffic that the cars don't go so fast. So when they pass you a bit close, it's not quite as scary as at other times. So I actually asked Birmingham City Council if we could get some traffic calming measures put in, but I learned, in a kind of chilling statistic, that the metric is there has to be nine people have to be injured by a car driver on your road in order every 3 years in order for you to be considered for traffic calming or speed cameras or some kind of, something to slow down the cars because they drive very fast on that road as they do on many others. We've only, on Monument Road, which isn't even a very long road, apparently we've only had 5. So we're 4 short of our total that we need in order to be considered. So it's pretty dangerous, and I think that statistic tells us a lot about the priorities of the people in charge. If you're in a car, then obviously things are made to facilitate speed and convenience, and if you're not, it can be a bit dangerous. So that's kind of the general context in which riding a bike to work takes place, and it's important to keep that in mind. So here I'm about to turn right onto Hagley Road, a particularly busy road. The ride gets a little bit easier shortly when I get off Hagley, which is probably the busiest road that I'll be on during this commute. And I have to turn left, but I've got a good bit of space in front of the car that's behind me here, because cars can turn left or right in this lane. I'll be turning right. I just give a kind of basic signal with my hand if it's safe to do so, and then I go. So here I go. Okay. All right, so as you can see, well, the noise always, but we know that. So it's a little bit wet. It's a bit windy. I didn't pick the nicest day to try this out, but maybe that's just as well, because there's no reason why, well, there's reasons why you might not want to ride, but weather is definitely not one of them. Anything that's possibly unpleasant or certainly unsafe about this ride will not have anything to do with the weather. Okay, I'm gonna make a left turn here, and this red light is for cars that are going straight, so I'm allowed to turn left. That's good. Here I go. Okay, quieter street here. Though again, it can be deceiving. Pothole there. It can be deceiving because the quiet street seems safer, but then it allows the drivers to go faster. And I think there's speed limits, but obviously no one has any reason to pay attention to them. Because obviously there's no consequences. Now this is a bit of an issue. You're coming up here alongside, filtering to the left of cars that are waiting at the light, which is good to do. It's good to get towards the front. You can breathe in a bit less of the exhaust fumes from the cars, and then you're in a safer position. And these motorists have nicely given me enough space to do that, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it's a bit of a trick to get just past the cars that are stopped. And there's always the danger that you're gonna bump somebody's mirror, which I don't want to do for a variety of reasons. Okay, so this is great. And this ride, by the way, as I said before, I have this one speed bike. It's quite windy. I have this one speed bike, and that's great for cruising down the hill. I'll get a little bit of exercise. There's a bit of a hill I'll have to go up, you'll see in a little while. Okay, so here I gotta squeeze through. Clearly, we need a protected bike lane here would be the obvious solution. And it's so nice to see the ways that Birmingham is changing on this question. I've lived here for 2 years, and I've already started to see some positive changes. When I first arrived, it was shocking to me just how the extent to which the road designers and the people who approved their plans deliberately made things so dangerous for anybody not in a car. And that remains very largely the case across the city, and obviously across many British cities. But it's beginning to change. We've got the clean air zone coming in. We've got the very occasional bike lane. You won't see any on this ride, just like you won't in most streets in the city. But the change is slow, but it's going in the right direction. Now, I like to go slow at this junction because I know what it's like to cross here as a pedestrian. It's an extremely dangerously designed junction for pedestrians. But maybe getting to work on foot is a topic for another day. Okay, so I'm being mindful of the bit of water on my left here and the leaves. And I'm gonna make a left turn coming up here. Let's do that, little signal, easy enough. This part can be a little bit tricky because of the parked cars. Not sure why there needs to be parked cars on this road, to be honest. There aren't even houses on that side. And the apartments here have their own parking, so who knows. Anyways, sometimes getting past the parked cars can be a bit of an issue if someone's coming up quick behind you, but the person who's driving behind me right now is being very considerate, so that's great. Okay, now, time for some exercise. Got a little hill here. And as I said, I'm not like in the best shape, so I need to stand up for this part. And I mean, I'm getting some exercise, but it's more a reminder. This is about the only exercise I get all day because I sit at a desk. Excuse me. And I probably should get out more. It's funny because in some ways my commute, it's too short. It would be better, I'll turn left here. Better if it was longer. Get a little bit more exercise in. I'm about halfway right now. Farquhar Road, this is an interesting one. No, this is not a bike lane. That's just parking. And look at these houses. Beautiful big houses. Obviously lived in by wealthy people who have all kinds of space for all kinds of cars. This seems like an ideal candidate of a road. Look how wide it is. And there's no need for parking because everyone who lives on this street has enough room to park like 10 cars. So, it'd be nice if we were able to get a bike lane in here. This street always strikes me as one that could particularly use one, and there's no reason why not. These wide, again, as pedestrians, when I walk to work or walk home at night, in the winter when it gets dark early, these crossings are so dangerous. They're so wide. Look at this next one. Designed entirely to enable drivers to go as fast as they want around them, and entirely to make it dangerous. Look how far of a space this is all the way across. Make it so dangerous for pedestrians. But I'm on my bike today. Okay, slight incline here. This bike also has these nice handlebars. It's got the brakes here. It's not a fixed gear. I'm definitely not up for that as a cyclist, not skilled enough. But when I do have to go up a bit of a hill, it has these nice horns, gives me a little bit of better grip, better exercise. Okay, this crossing here. I noticed too, we've seen, good morning, we've seen a few cyclists on the sidewalk, or the pavement as you call it here. And my goodness, rightfully so, it's an option. My partner rides on the sidewalk, and for good reason. She doesn't always feel safe riding on the road. And so I think there's a sense that riding on the pavement is just for kids. Well, if adults are not safe, they should ride on the sidewalk as need be, so they can get safely where they need to go. Here's another road. Again, the problem for those who are thinking about riding is stuff like this. This is could so easily be a bike lane, and it could have a protected barrier to keep us safe while we rode, because there's plenty of room for parking for people to store their cars, lots of room. And yet I'm pretty used to it. I ride fairly often, so I don't mind going around a parked car, though sometimes it can scare me when a driver comes up very quickly behind. But for someone less experienced, it could be quite a problem and quite a barrier. Okay, I'm almost there. Approaching the roundabout here. Again, sorry about all the commentary, but I guess that's why I'm here. Another extremely dangerous roundabout for pedestrians in particular. I've almost been hit here several times. Right next to a university as well, where there are lots of people on foot. And then there's this another pothole thing to be aware of. But the potholes are a problem, but they're okay. I find them to be manageable. Here's this lovely old bridge. Needs a bollard in the middle. World bollard, where are you? There's really, be so nice if there was not cars going across. This is a very big vehicle. And then squeeze past. Okay, very good. Yeah, it would be so nice if they filtered that road. There's, in my very opinionated view, as you're getting a sense, there's no need for people to be driving across that old bridge. And it's, again, the sidewalk, the pavement is so narrow. It's also can be really dangerous, and again, particularly because drivers are able to go at whatever speed they like. That's always a big problem as a pedestrian and a cyclist. Wow, it's windy. I'm gonna be glad to get inside. One last thing, parking, of course. Cyclists need it, as do other people with other kinds of vehicles. University of Birmingham's pretty good. This is undercover. I park my bike here. I'll turn off the camera in a second, lock it up before I go into the building here where I work. You know, that's something that you need if you're riding to work and you don't have a safe place to leave your bike, then that's something you probably need to bring up with whoever it is you work for. But luckily, in this case, I'm all right. Okay, great. Well, let me see if I can turn this camera around and say goodbye. I had it on the head strap, which I haven't actually used. We'll see if it worked. Okay, great. Oh, and look at all that. A little bit of water on the lens. I'm not very wet though. As you can see, in my all blue outfit today, by coincidence. And that's it for me. That's a ride to work. I think that was maybe about 12 minutes or something, thereabouts, 13 or so. So thanks for riding along with me, and good luck if you want to try riding to work yourself, if you don't already. It's possible, but there's problems. That's the main thing I'd say. Take it easy.